2024 is officially confirmed to be the year of the sand. We had Dune Part 2, we have Furiosa, and now, news to me, I had no idea this was happening, by the way. We have a Dune TV series that's going to show on Max called Dune Prophecy. It's relating later this year in fall. It is set 10,000 years before Paul Atreides is born, and the series follows the sisters Valia and Tula Harkin as they combat forces that threaten the future of humanity and establish the fabled sect known as Bene Gesserit. It stars Emily Watson, Mark Strong, and Travis Fimmel. And yeah, I had no idea this was happening until I woke up this morning. James, you've seen the sorry, there's also a trailer for this, by the way. So
Yeah.
head over and watch it. I completely missed that. So head over and watch it. James, you and I have seen the trailer. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it looks good. I'm really excited for it. Visually, it looks great. It kind of just shows that Denis Villeneuve isn't that special of a director because anyone can just come in and make this universe beautiful. So it wasn't him that made the Dune series great at all. Just kidding. Don't roast me. That was just a joke.
I feel that was aimed at one person.
No, I am joking. While it does look visually good, the blueprint is what Denis Villeneuve has set out here. Without him, creating that foundation, other people can't come and build off of it. So what he did is obviously, quite crucial to what this TV series is doing here. But I gotta say, I did hear about this, but not much at all, and I certainly didn't know, we're going to get a trailer anytime soon. I didn't know didn't know it was going to come out this year, but I had heard that they were trying to get a TV series to focus on, that sisterhood side of the Dune franchise. So yeah, and then I saw, and I was never on board with this. Dune didn't feel like a franchise that could branch into series, or it was too premature for it to try and get series. I'm like, we're still trying to really get into the larger universe of Dune through these big budget blockbusters. So I was never on board for it. But watching this trailer, I'm actually kind of on board with it. I still don't quite know where it's going. We saw at the end of the trailer, it's got Dune, and then it's surrounded by the different elements. So did you notice that?
I did not notice that, no.
Yeah, like D's earth, U is fire, and then N was like ice, and then air was E. And I'm like, oh, what does that have to do with things?
Avatar, let's go.
Yeah, it's inspiring everything at the moment. But the one thing I loved about this movie is it feels so much like Game of Thrones. I hope it can convert into something that's like that. But Dune seems to be a franchise and a world where it can be like Game of Thrones. So many different families, locations, lots of different kind of characters. So that's the beauty of Game of Thrones, is you got so many different narratives, so many different characters. It takes a while to actually grasp the full scale of what Game of Thrones is. But once that all clicks together in your own mind, it becomes really, really interesting to watch from here on out, just because there's so many moving parts. So if Dune Prophecy can be anything like that, I'm fully on board with it. At least from what it looks and feels like in the trailer, it seems like we are going to get something like that. But I've learnt my lesson well enough to not expect Game of Thrones, at least early Game of Thrones quality from any series. It's going to have to prove it to me once it releases. So we'll see how it goes, but a good first impression for me.
Yeah, I had the exact same thoughts as you when I first watched it. This felt the vibes felt like Game of Thrones. I don't know what it was, whether it was the visual style or just the way that the trailer was constructed, but that was the first thing my mind went to. But yeah, I'll be watching this one. This is definitely one to keep an eye on. As you said, it looks visually well made as well. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm interested to see how the cinematography stacks up throughout the series. And the fact that it releases in September, October, or November, that's just so soon, considering we've heard literally nothing about it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also interested to see how Dune is handled outside of Villeneuve. Because, Dune 1 and 2 was his babies, and he's done such great work on it. How does anyone come in and try adapt what he has done, or, take it further, or something else, So, yeah. You Dune fans, I'm not sure. I wonder if the Dune fans will be excited for this. You know, Kyne's one of them. I wonder if he'll be on board for this after watching that trailer.
Well, is Dune Prophecy, is it based on any source material? Because I know you got the Dune book franchise, which starts at the first movie, but that's I think it's a very long series of novels. Is there anything that's covering this story, or is it made up based on or adapted from those novels?
I generally have no idea. I'm not a big Dune book reader or book fan, so I'd have no idea. I think when I was briefly looking at it, I think I did see some mentions towards a book. So you could be right, it could be adapted on a book, but at least if it is based on it, they have some source material to bring in. They just have to, capture the look and feel of Villeneuve's movies.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a fascinating TV series, dude, because like you said, we've heard nothing about it, man. And I'm looking right here. I can't find the directors or showrunners or anything about it. And I've looked at two sources. It's not there. Not IMDb or Wikipedia has them down. And so it's so hard to know what this is going to be like without Dune, who's kind of taking over it. I mean, yeah, I'm very fascinated, but we got a trailer before we got any word of who actually did it. So yeah. I'm very curious to see how it goes on.
When I was looking, there was no episode count either. So
yeah, and it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it's maybe. Oh, that's so weird. Like, we have footage, but no directors or screenwriters. That's so bizarre. Like, I've never seen that before, where we haven't heard of, apart from Moana, where we haven't heard of anything releasing, and then just a straight trailer. And it looks like it's like a finished product already. So they either would have filmed it with Dune Part 2 or very shortly after. And who knows?
Maybe Denis Villeneuve did it.
Yeah, he probably did it back to back, Who knows? But
my height would go straight up if that was the case.
I think so too. I think, holy shit, it will be like definitely up there for TV series for the year.
Yeah,
if you
for sure.
Do that. You guys at home, did you guys see Dune Prophecy coming? If you did, you're lying because no one did. And let us know in the comments below if you are hyped for it or not, and we will comment our thoughts on your comment.